Well, good morning. Welcome everyone. Welcome to the live stream. I think we'll have quite a bit of conversation this morning about the post 4 o'clock chart movement yesterday. We'll wait until more join before we jump into that discussion, but we had quite an explosive close to our day yesterday. Just want to make a few comments about it and see what your thoughts are. Number 2 liked. Excellent, excellent. Hey, Brad, William, good morning, everyone. How's it going? William, no, I do not trade Asia. I mean, every now and then, if I'm sitting around and maybe I'm back testing, I'm doing something else, and just so happen to look at the chart and there's something there to do, maybe I'll take a scalp or something. But for the most part, I close my charts and I generally don't open them until the following morning. Hello, Vivian. Good morning. All right, Jr. Good morning. I don't think I've ever heard from you, Jr. So welcome. Thanks for jumping into the chat. I bet it was, Vivian. Yeah. Hopefully you went long. Way to go, Kendrick. Yeah, the couple times I have traded Asia, I have found that the Asia session trades like ES, where you get a chance to see the setup and even think about it and decide whether you want to get in, and it still gives you an opportunity. It's never one of those where price just runs away from you. All right, Janus. Good morning. Good morning. All right, let's jump into this. Let's start with a recap of what's been announced so far. We have unemployment was announced. It came in under forecast, which is good for currency. So we may see a small retracement today. Actually makes perfect sense given the amount of activity we've seen since basically the regular trading hours closed yesterday. There's probably about 300, 350 points that's prices moved since then. So a retracement is probably in order. Not to mention, I'm looking up at the 4 hour and we just hit a bearish fair value gap. So we'll see what that does for price as well. We do have another high impact news announcement coming at 9:45. So we have the flash manufacturing PMI and the flash services PMI coming. So not exactly sure what these are. Let's see. Okay, they survey purchasing managers, purchasing managers in manufacturing industry to figure out how healthy is the manufacturing industry, what's their forecasts. I guess they survey the same thing with people in the services industry and get a feel for how orders are coming and what their forecast is for the year. So they'll give their update at 9:45. We'll see what that does for price. We also have medium impact at 10. So we'll take a look at that as well. Existing home sales. We're not going to worry about FOMC Waller speaking. That's at 7:30. We'll be long gone by then. And if price is not moving because it's waiting for this event, there's nothing we can do about it. So we'll just pay attention at 9:45 and at 10 o'clock. Of course, we have the opening bell at 9:30. So it's going to be quite an eventful early start for us. But it's good. It's Friday. And we'll see what it brings for us. Jumping over. This quick dollar. All right, if we just look at the hour here, we just had a sweep of a high here, so we're definitely bullish on dollar, at least on the hourly time frame, and most likely below. Not sure about the 4 hour. Let's go. No, 4 hour still bearish. Daily. Swap these lows here. So daily turn bearish as well. All right. So we'll see on the dollar how long this rally is going to be. We did just see that 8:30 announcement was favorable for the dollar. So of course it's getting a little rally now. This was the candle that broke the structure here, came from the 8 o'clock hour. So, and let's go to ES quickly. Obviously, everything's bullish. ES this morning, wow, look at that, all-time high this morning at 6 o'clock. We had a high of 50.67 3/4. Previous high was 50.66 1/2. So we beat it by 1.25 points. It's still up there now, so we'll see if we get higher prices or if there's a breakdown or some sort of retracement today. In Q, pretty much the same going on over here, except we didn't make all-time highs, but we did sweep several levels of liquidity. Excuse me, equal highs here. The new week opening gap, we're above that. These equal highs, this level of relative equal highs. So pretty much everything's been swept. We're now, even on the 4 hour, you see these bearish fair value gaps here. This is where we're currently trading. So price is stalling a little bit and we may get some retracement. We have plenty of fair value gaps here for price to trade back down to and try to balance prior to moving higher if that's what he wants to do. So let's get back down to the trading NQ. Put it on the 5 minute. All right, so as we look at how everything shut down yesterday, I stayed till about 10 after. We shut down the live stream. And so that would be the end of this candle right here. So we were somewhere around 17,537. And then I was still sitting at my desk, but I hadn't done anything. And I saw this movement come down. No, sorry. I think it went up first. It went up first here. Then it crashed down. And oddly enough, I don't know if I haven't even looked to see if Queen is in the room. It doesn't look like it. Anyway, this trade down hit right at consequent encroachment of the 3 minute breaker block that we had been looking at right around, what was it, 3 o'clock or so, or maybe 3:30, right around 3:30 at the bottom of this movement. So I thought that was interesting that it traded down right to the consequent encroachment of that and then built out of it. But after, I mean, I don't know who could have predicted how price would react all the way until the end of the bell there. I know they said Nvidia still had to announce its results. I saw something earlier that said S&P 80% of companies have already reported, and of those companies, 75% have beat expectations. So I don't know if just globally or nationally, everyone's beating their expectation. They had a really good Q4. But yeah, yesterday's price action was crazy. And so as we look at today's regular trading hour, the gap, it closed at, what was that, 4:15? All right, so regular closing hour gap starts at 5:32. So it went all the way to 5:32 until whatever we get at the opening bell, which looks like we're going to be somewhere up here in the 880, 890 range. So 5:32 to 880, so 350 point regular trading hour gap. Hello, Ray. Good morning. Yeah, you did mention that London was going to be extremely gift giving, and it seemed like it was. Oh, from Uzbekistan. Welcome, welcome. Good morning. Thanks for joining. Tommy, Chuck, Robin. Great sniper, Mark. Good morning. All right, opening bell in 30 seconds. Remember, we have high impact news at 9:45 and medium impact news at 10. All right, yeah, I wonder if in Q we're going to make an all-time high similar to what we saw ES do. In order to do so, we'll be looking at 18,121. All right, for session highs and lows, we have the London high swept already. Excuse me. London low has not been swept. Asia high has been swept. Asia low has not been swept. So we have London low, Asia low, open. Going to mark up previous day high just in case we have any type of retracement down in that area. We can see what it is. All right, so we have our lows still open. Our highs have already been swept, and we don't have New York yet. So we'll come back later and check that out. Something new I'm trying on my screen is the fair value gaps are 15-minute fair value gaps. So even though we're looking at the 5-minute chart, these are 15-minute fair value gaps. Right between the 8:30 open and the midnight open is about 90 points there. Don't forget, we have another news event in 10 minutes. Oh, Dustin, welcome. Good morning. See how price reacts when it gets back to the 8:30 open. Yep, Sniper. We have news all the way until 10. After 10, we should be good to go. Uh, I didn't look for low impact news or any of that, so maybe there's some more of that today. But it's just from high and the medium impact news. We're good after 10 o'clock. Oops, sorry. Let me throw my camera back up. Okay, we're back into the 4 hour fair value gap, which starts around 17,900 and extends to 17,950. Let me just quickly show you where we are, what I'm looking at. So we have a bearish fair value gap here. We also have equal highs. Okay, this was New York high from last Friday, it looks like. No, before that, Friday the 16th. Yep. All right, but we have equal highs there. So if we are able to break through this fair value gap, trade above in the next, okay, well, this one ends in 18 minutes, but so we'll have another candle. But if we're able to trade above, close above, we would then be targeting equal highs at 18,024. But as of right now, we just hit the consequent encroachment here. You know what? We'll leave that there. Let's drop back down to the 15-minute. Oh, to the 5, sorry. Okay, in 30 seconds, we will have the next news event. In anticipation of that news event, I do need another cup of coffee. Give me 2 minutes. I'll be right back. Okay, there we go. Didn't see that coming. Hey, Miss Healthy, good morning. Welcome to the chat and welcome to the channel. All right. I think we're going to continue a little bit higher, it looks like. Watching this on the 1 minute as well. Looks like it's going to make a new high here soon. See if we can't clear 954. Okay, there we are. No, we normally check out the comparison chart. We'll do that in just a minute. I want to see if we can clear this fair value gap here. Yes, 10 to 11, Khaled. 10 to 11. So in 10 more minutes. Okay, we did clear out. Let's see if we close. Let me go ahead and shift this over. Well, sorry, let me put this at 10 o'clock. I just want to make sure at 10 o'clock, I want to see where the candle is, and hopefully we close above this area. So the 4-hour fair value gap then is invalidated. Up 428 so far. Yep. All right, and we're now back into the fair value gap, trading below consequent encroachment. And so it doesn't look likely that we'll close above this 4 hours. So we'll be looking for another. Um, we'll be looking to the next 4-hour candle to see if that candle can achieve what this one was unable to do. It's not etched in stone that it's not going to be able to close above, but right now, with about 6 minutes left, it's not looking good. All right, we're now retesting the 830 open. Just a couple more minutes and we'll be at 10 o'clock. It'll be an hour for Silver Bullet. Also have our last news event. In fact, let's see, where are we? Mixed bag. All right, manufacturing says I think the outlook is better. Uh, Services slightly less than forecast, so we'll see how that plays into price. Righty, 17,917. Okay, sniper. Fred, good morning. How's it going? Okay. All right, Ray. Thanks for that. Yeah, I know it was just medium impact as well, so I'm not sure what's really going to happen. Whether we'll get any, especially, I mean, what the way price action has been since the close of yesterday, and the amount of gains have been made in the market. I can't imagine the news being creating that much volatility since we've already had so much movement already. Yes, we are. A lot of things can happen in macro time. All right. News is out. All right, let's see what was announced and where we are. Okay, so 4 million is the pace of existing home sales versus a forecast of 3.96, so slightly better, meaning good for the economy, but yeah, probably not that big of a deal. Let's grab our New York levels. Stop loss hit. All right, sniper, no problem. Just get back in the saddle. Let's see what else it brings us. Okay, after you're trading the ES, okay. See what the motive of this retracement candle is. uh, See body sitting on a 62% right now. The deepest retracement so far has gone down and wicked through 70.8% already, just above the 830 open. All right, I'm going to switch back up to the 5-minute in just a moment. Probably give it about 2 more minutes on this time frame. All right, we're still trading in the range here. And so let's see if we can sweep this high, which is also in the range en route to the New York high or the daily high so far. Let's see, where are the other opens? All right, so we have the New York low, the London low, the Asia low, all available. Never traded into. Midnight open down there as well, 8:30 open. So those are the levels we have marked on the screen here. New York high is the only high that has not been swept. That high was created just 10 minutes ago or 10 minutes before the hour. So if we go sweep that now, and then once we do, what happens there? Mm-mm. Yep, definitely looks bullish for sure. Looking at it on the 5 minute. In fact, let me switch this over. So all fair value gaps are of the 15-minute chart, with the exception of this one pink one we're in right now, which is from the 4 hour. Okay, you took it as a silver bullet. Awesome. Good job, man. Yeah, for the silver bullet, you want to target a minimum of 20 points. But after that, it's completely up to you how far you want to take it. Okay, so you saying 20 to 30 pips or points? Because I was never a forex trader, so when you say pips, I'm thinking of ticks here. Each quarter point is a tick. Um, okay, so points. If you take 20 to 30 points, how many do you risk? Well, it depends. It depends on, where you're entering. If you're entering on a fair value gap, you have to place your stop based on the principles you have for entering on a fair value gap. So it just really depends on how big your stop loss is. I like to risk no more than $500 per trade. So that's 25 points. So therefore, if my stop loss is only 12, then I can go in with 2 contracts. But if my stop loss is 22, then of course I can only do 1. Queen is there. That's who I wanted to talk to. I know you hit TP yesterday after we got off. I was watching it. Hey Laura, good morning. I saw it in 1 second. It's ran up like 60 points or 80 points or something yesterday, and I was like, I know Queen tapped. I know her TP was hit. Now it moved so quickly, I don't know if it closed you out, but I know it definitely ran past your TP, and then it crashed down to. I was showing everybody this morning. Uh, you might remember yesterday, Queen, when we were here, we had this 3-minute breaker. So after it ran up yesterday, and this is when I thought it delivered your TP when it ran up, but then it crashed down and it went to consequent encroachment of that 3-minute breaker, and then it took off from there. So I was definitely interested on your take and how things worked out for you. So you shorted it down and back up. Wow, unbelievable. Good job. Yep. See if this 1-minute candle can push up past those equal highs. Same thing on the 5-minute. Nvidia up 100. Okay, wow. Okay, must have came in with some good numbers yesterday. Now, NVIDIA, they make graphics cards for computers. So, and they're the industry leader. So they are a big tech company. But I don't think they drive NAS the way that, I think they just, this week was their time to announce, whereas Facebook or Meta and Apple and some of the others, they announced their results a couple weeks ago. So they all have their own schedule on when they announce. Mhm. Yeah, yeah, Queen. We had some news this morning. Remember, we had the 8:30 news. We then had news at 9:15, and then no, I'm sorry, 8:30, 9:45, and 10. There you go. Yes, thank you. Yes, a reminder, everyone, please like the live stream, so we can so it can be a bit more interactive, and YouTube will see that as a good stream to recommend to other people. We want to see if we can't move up the rankings on how YouTube recommends their live streams to potential traders. I'm trying, Khaled. Well, we'll see if it works. Okay, we got triple highs here. We'll see if this current candle can push above that. It's so far showing that it wants to just trade in between the range here. We have the last 10, 15 minutes, not really moving much, about 20 points back and forth. Oh, it's hovering above. Okay. I did watch his video last night. I did. Yep, sure did. He was going over the scalping model, which is interesting. I need to watch it again because I mean, I think I understood what he was looking at. It was just, it's new to me, so I need to watch it again so I can better anticipate where the opportunities are. Hmm. Yeah, it was really similar to the way that Cami used to do the similar model, except he didn't have a set stop loss in TP. It was just a one-to-one based on whatever his stop loss was. And I noticed Cami's was always kind of like a breaker. So he wanted to sweep both sides, sweep liquidity, and then make a new high or low. Whereas the video I watched last night, it didn't necessarily need that sweep of liquidity. It was just if it makes a new high or low, depending on the trend, then you were looking at that manipulation leg, similar to the way Cammy was doing it. So it made sense, but yeah, it was not something I can watch one time and then jump right into the charts. I think I'll check it out again tonight. All right, while we have some time, let's go ahead and take a peek over and take a look at the comparison chart, see how the others are doing, see how that just might impact where we're going. As you can see, I haven't even looked at it this morning because I don't even have the candlesticks in screen. All right, we have dollar pushing higher. We have NQ trying to catch up to the last hour's high. S&P still hovering on all-time high. As Ray mentioned, it made the all-time high once again last hour. So 5076.75 is a new high by, I think it's 1.25 points, something like that. But the Dow is fading big time. It's up to 39,000, which is an all-time high for the Dow. Let's just confirm that with the daily. Okay, so it's not an all-time high. Okay, nope, no, I was right. It is an all-time high. So Dow hit it, ES hit it. So let's see if Nasdaq will make an all-time high today. I announced earlier Nasdaq would need, I think it was about 200 points today to achieve that. Let's see, where is the all-time high? 18,121, 18,121. So you're about 180 points from where we are right now. All right, let's see if the New York high is in play now. We've just breached the 4-hour fair value gap once again. This fair value gap just started 30 minutes ago, so it's another 3 hours to trade. But right now we are trading above it, and the New York high is within reach, about 15 points away. Yeah, Ray, the same thing. I was looking at. I didn't like how the cherry picked entries because I was seeing some of examples, and I was wondering. I was like, well, why didn't you do the same on that one? Because that would have been a losing trade. How did you skip that one and figure it wasn't good enough? So it was, yeah, it seemed like some of his entries were cherry picked, but yeah, the concepts look like it might work, but it needs a bit more refinement than what his video had. Yeah, I noticed that too. I noticed that it looked like it was setting up the buy model on the 1 hour yesterday. Three more minutes on this 5 minute candle. Let's see if it can run that New York high. Mm, yeah, good advice, Ray. Thanks for that. On those trading for ES. All right, so close, but for whatever reason, it doesn't want to do it. Just not ready yet. Only I could do that in my live account. The hour fair value gap. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yep. That is where it ran up to last hour and then retrace. I meant to call that out. I saw it. I remembered. Yeah. So we have this 4 hour bearish fair value gap that it finally broke through, but then it was a 1 hour sitting right up here. Let me put the 1 hour in the bottom left-hand corner so we can all see that. Okay, New York high is gone. So now all highs have been traded too. We just have all three lows open. We have New York here, London, and Asia. It looks like they're about evenly spaced too, which is weird. Wow. Perfectly spaced. New York, London, and Asia low. And some people don't believe in the algorithm. I don't know what to tell them. All right, now that Nasdaq has reached the New York high, let's now see where else might it go or what might happen next. All right, Dow is the only one not to take last hour's high and not to make a new high for the day this hour. So a relative weakness there with the Dow. Ooh, no doubt about it. Strength coming from ES. Not only did we have new highs made this hour for S&P and Nasdaq, but we also had lows swept last hour by S&P and Nasdaq, and we did not get that from the Dow. So no lows swept and no new high made. Let's see how far this price wants to retrace. Right now we're at 954. I'm looking down to see if potentially could go down to 940, even down to 930. Let's see if it goes to either one of those levels and how it reacts when it gets there. Oh, that's large. Let's go with medium. There we go. Still didn't get a close above. Still didn't get a close above, which is probably the reason for the retracement here. Mm. All right, let's see if this trend line holds up. Okay, looks like the moment I drew it, it stopped holding. All right, so it's at 940 to 930. Let's see how price is reacting in this area. Right, closure of the candle coming up. All right, still crashing down. All right, let's see where the next levels are. Splash, good morning. Welcome. Clinks, welcome back. Reminder, macro coming up in another 3 minutes. Oh, there you go, sniper. This is short. Yeah, okay. Well, it swept the New York low and then the short happened. So maybe next time, find a pool of liquidity and just wait for the sweep first. No, I didn't catch the short. I did demo a long, so I took a long up to the New York high. I got in somewhere around 910, ran it up to like 940 ish, and then it retraced back down to 930. Stopped me out because I had moved my stop loss, and then I got back in at 930 and ran it to the New York high. All right, no, go ahead and then yeah, handle your business and spend time with your mom. Have a good time. The market's not going anywhere. We'll be here when you get back, either this afternoon or tomorrow. So thanks for joining, and as always, we'll see you next time. Mama Unicorn. All right, let's drop down to the 1 minute. We have the macro coming up. It's quite possible. Quite possible we'll get a bounce from there. The thing is, we had a shift here. We had a low that was broken on the way down. But then on the way build back up, we took over the high. So we turned back bullish. And now as we're breaking down, this low is what's holding us bullish. So if we break below the 830, then we're looking at bearish activity there. But we are coming up on the macro. So what we could see is something like this, where we get a break below, back above, break below, back above. And so then this point here will flip us back bullish if that's what you're looking for. But if we get a really bullish candle here that creates a fair value gap, I know it's a 1 minute, then you'll probably want to pull over and watch a breaker here. The 950 candle. Well, right now I'm looking at the 1 minute, but if I was looking at the 5 minute, let me give you my breaker. Yeah, Queen. That is the breaker we have there. Only thing is it's massive. That's the only thing that scares me is how it's the size of it. All right, good to see this one fail. Oh, a little bit above me. Yeah, that's true. Because one that size, if it makes it up to mean threshold, it's most likely gonna go your direction. It's not gonna retrace all the way through. All right, 5 minutes into the breaker, 5 minutes until 11 o'clock. I'm sorry, not the breaker, 5 minutes into the macro. Sorry about that. It's been one of those mornings. Robin, you say you bought it up to this point here? The last high around 10:30, 10:35. It's a good trade. 9:35. Okay. I think that's when I got back. I re-entered. I re-entered around 9:35 sniper. Or no, not 9:35, around 9:30. I think it was in here somewhere. It was like I took one entry here, and then when this one broke down, I took another entry down here, and then just kind of wrote it up. I think I had 4 contracts. I took 2 at these highs, so right around 9:50, and then let the other 2 run. Oh, 10:27. Okay. Mm. That's okay. That's fine. If you ran it up to the high at 970, you still was able to pull in about 30 points or so, which is plenty in a trade for NQ. Yeah, sniper, same for me. I got it on my demo as well. It wasn't in my live account, which is why you didn't see it on the screen. All right, so far, uneventful macro period. We'll make daily. It depends. So we're in the macro period now, so we need to see where price action is when we get out of it. So it really depends on if it's going higher or lower. We're anticipating lower prices, but we want to see market structure shift first. From there, the first target will be the New York low, which is just below the 830 open. We see a New York low is at 17,864. So that'll be the first target, and then after that, we'll just see how price action is working. Ray, which indicator is that you're using? Oh, okay. Got it. Yeah, I've heard of the clouds. I know someone else who uses them as well, and he was trying to talk to me about when different clouds cross over, and it was going over my head. You're right. It was choppy all through here. We had a big breakout. You jumped in right there, and then it went straight to delivery. But no, that's right. Because my original entry was over here on this leg, and so I took partials somewhere up in here, and then it came back and stopped me out. And so then over here, I tried it again, and then when it traced down, I added another contract, and then watched it up. But no, I didn't have an indicator to save me from the chop. Oh, okay. 9, 15, 65, and 200. Okay. Good job. All right, Dustin, I will consider that. I don't think I've ever heard of the 65, but okay. News was our indicator. Mm-mm-mm. All right, we're over until the 11 o'clock hour now. Still waiting to see if we get some sort of breakout. This has been quite the macro period. Get the feeling we're just going to slam down at some point, sweeping all these lows here. While we wait for something to happen, let me go and get my last cup this morning. Just give me one moment. I'll be right back. Let's see where we close here. Did not close above this swing high here. Look at that. Is that a breaker on the 1 minute? It is, but there's no fair value gap. So not a unicorn, definitely not a unicorn. Trying to figure out. Oh, there it is. Okay, I was wondering. I was like, where's this level she's talking about? Okay, so it was the full leg you took. Got it. Which 1 minute liquidity was taken? This swing low here, 897.5 from 1003. Looked like it wick and came down. Okay. Wayne, I thought you were leaving. I mean, we're glad to have you, but I see you can't stay away from the charts long. There's unicorn. Yeah, could be. All right, you got 1 minute left. 1 minute left here in the macro period. Oh, you're already at break even. All right. See if we get a close above still. See what happens here. All right, so didn't get a change of structure at all. Oh yeah, for sure. I think it's gonna just kind of play around until the afternoon. So I'm not, very optimistic about the next hour, or at least I'm hoping that's what happened. Because I'm expecting price action to be a little better in the afternoon since we don't have any news coming. I mean, I know that's the FOMC guy speaking at 7:30 or something, but I'm not believing in that. We can trade past this high at 975. Remember, we looked earlier on the 4-hour, we had equal highs up at 18.026. So if we pass this high, about another 50 points up would be equal highs on the 4-hour. All right, let's get back to the 5-minute here. Yeah, yep. So let me find another breaker somewhere. I'll find one. All right, so remember here, yesterday there was a breaker here. So essentially the breaker, I highlighted just as this right here, but it's essentially from the low here to the high. So it's essentially from here to here is the breaker, right? Then we had a sweep below, and then over here we have a close above, right? So that's your breaker. What makes it a unicorn is right here, you have a fair value gap inside, and right here. You have a fair value gap inside. So what makes it a unicorn is when it trades back down, it can trade into the fair value gap, which is right here. Or the fair value gap actually protects price. So if it trades down and it bounces off the breaker block, the fair value gap is what protects you from needing a stop loss down here because price won't get this low. And that's why it's the unicorn. But it's the fair value gap inside of the breaker. And then if we go to where we are now, I think this was on the 1 minute. So we had the same type of thing. We had a low, oops, then a high, lower low, and then a close above. But inside, if you look at all these candles here, there is no fair value gap. There's nothing. So this is still a breaker setup, but not a unicorn. And that's the difference between the two. All right, Queen, we'll be thinking about you. But yeah, have fun on your family event, and we'll catch you when you get a free moment. All right, cool, calm. Did that answer your question? Okay. Alrighty. So a fair value gap is created by, you see how it's a 3-candle pattern. So 1, 2, 3. So it's these 3 candles, right? The top wick on this candle is right here at 9:30. Then you skip the middle candle, you go to the 3rd candle, and you look for the bottom wick. The bottom wick is here at 9:43. So this is stop at 9:43. This up wick stops at 9:30. In between there, because these wicks do not overlap, and that's how you get a fair value gap, is when the wick does not overlap. Down here, you can take any 3 candles that you want, and the bottom wick on this one, skip this candle, go to this one, the up wick They all overlap, so there is no gap there. It's about wicks overlapping every other candle. Back to the 5 minute. I'll leave that there. Yep, cool, calm. You can see it here. You see how the wick stops here? And then on this candle, the wick goes to about right here. So on this 5 minute, this little area right here is going to be a fair value gap on the 5 minute. And since the wicks didn't overlap, later on, price will want to come and balance that. And it'll come back and it'll make sure it overlaps. And that's why you draw the fair value gap, and that's why you wait for it to retrace. Yes, if I take the trade, I'll definitely call it out. On this one, I didn't call out the unicorn, but I did have it marked up as a breaker. You'll always notice my breakers, they're always blue. So when you see a blue rectangle up on the screen, I don't even know, since it's on top of red, it might even be purple for you, the way you see it. But whenever you see this, you know that that's a breaker for me. Fair value gaps are either green or red. And if I'm just measuring something, like if I just want to see, okay, what's the size of this area here? You'll see me turn it orange. All right, daily highs tested. So the New York high was swept here, right at 1035. Now we just tested that level once again. It's purple. Okay. All right. So it's so look out for either blue or purple, just depending on if it's on top of another color. Yep. Three drives pattern. I sure do. That's when you get a sweep of the lows after that. It's probably a little hard to see it on this small time frame here. But essentially, this is what you're going to have. So you got one leg, retracement, second leg, retracement. So now we're looking at a third expansion leg, and we'll see where it goes before it retraces. But then on the retracement, you're expected to take out this low right here at this point, and you're expected to take out. I mean, it's a little different here because they're in the same spot, but generally what you would see on a three drives pattern is this. Is what you get. So you had three expansion legs up, and then you swept this low, and this low together. Oh, okay. Yeah, I did see something. They had an email came out the other day that said it was 90% discount, and I think they brought back the you can pass in one day until the 27th. I think you can purchase until the 27th. So I have links in the description if anyone wants an Apex account. Mm. Yeah, the beautiful thing about Apex is you can have 20 accounts. Oh, you do? You have 10? Oh, wow. Yeah, yeah. The prop firm's competing, but you know what they say about competition: the consumer always wins. So this is good for us. All right, so we had a clips of the previous daily high twice, and now we see price starting to retrace back down. Let's see, we got another 2.5 minutes. We'll see where this candle closes. It's also, let's pull up the 15 minute. See what that looks like. Let's get this. Seems like it's your time. If you feel you're ready, go for it. Nope. No, I'm not really worried about regulatory issues. At least so far, I haven't seen, and this is for Sniper. Sniper, I haven't seen any issues with futures prop firms. It's all the other one, the CFDs, the ones that are there trading currency mostly. Yes, they are having issues, and they are being reviewed and whatever, all those things. But none of those firms, I don't know all the details because I don't trade with any of those firms. But so far, it seems like the future prop firms are in good hands and have not been pulled with yet. Right, 30 seconds till the candle closure. Okay, we did get a rejection from the level in the 15-minute. It closed higher than the previous candle. So I'm still optimistic that it will push higher. Get back down to the 5-minute. Give us a couple more candles to look at. Okay, we're half past the hour, so let's take a peek over at the comparison chart. All right, as far as the pairs being in unison, it looks pretty good. They're all three are buying this hour. The Dow has a little bit of ways to catch up to get back and make some make all-time highs, or the very least to make an hourly high over the previous hour, whereas we've already seen that several times. Even NQ made a new high this hour. It's done it for 3 consecutive hours. We'll see if S&P can get there. It's pretty close, so it might actually do it soon. Dow, not really sure there. It's the weakest of the pairs this morning, but we do have so far for the hour the dollar selling. Could sell down to this fair value gap before finding some support and maybe looking for higher prices. But as of right now, it's looking good. Let's flip back over. All right, everyone. Give you a final reminder. Go ahead and like the video. Let's make sure we get some more likes here so YouTube can promote the video to other traders. Let's see if we can't get up to about 90 viewers or so in the room this morning. We're not too far away, but a few more likes and YouTube will start promoting it to more traders. See if we can't get up to 45 or 50 likes. We have 72 people in the room. I'm sure some of you haven't liked the video yet. Go ahead and hit that, please. All right, the high is being tested once again. 4 times in the last 20 minutes. Cool, calm. I'm not really looking into that. You guys just asked a question. I'm gonna trade 1 or 2 strategies. I can't point out every ICT model or all those things. Those are things you'll have to study on your own, and then when you come into trading, start applying it if that's the way you want to trade. I'm not going to be able to do that for you. But the only way you'll know it's in play, you'll have to look for a market structure shift. So right now we're still bullish. You're going to want to see a key low taken, and then you want to see price continue to push downwards. All right. Remember, I mentioned that if we take out this high and price continues to push up in about 50 points, we have our next level. So at around 18,025 is equal highs on the 4-hour chart. Just set this here just in case we see a breakdown in price. Then we'll have an activated breaker. But if we don't, then it's nothing. Robin, yes, it can happen during lunch. It's possible. One thing that'll help us out is there's a macro just before lunch at 11:50. So we can check price at that time to see if it's still bullish or if it's gonna flip over bearish. When we get to 11:50, I'll switch down to the 1 minute and then we'll watch it from there. I usually take a break at 12, but um, hopefully we'll know something by then, or at least I'll give you an indication. 6:15 to 9:30. Yep. Yeah, I'm looking at this, and this is on the 5 minute time frame is similar to what we watched on Strange ICT last night. So we made the expansion leg. He would then measure the retracement, retrace down to 50% of that retracement leg, and then expand once again. Oh, you're right. It was to the tick. Sweet. Wow. Oh, price is fractal. Yeah, you're right. Overnight was bullish. So we'll see what happens as we head into lunch, and then when we get back, we'll see what a lunch hour played and what we can expect for the afternoon. 15 minutes before the hour, 5 minutes before the next macro. Right, so we have on this time frame, structure break is down here at 9:53. We'd rather see that happen during the macro, so we'd rather that happen in another 4 minutes, not now. But let's see what happens. We have the dollar retracing back to the origin of 11 o'clock. So looking like it may want to turn bullish for the hour. Still unconfirmed, but it looks like it might want to do that. We still are heavily bullish on the three indices. New highs again on S&P and Nasdaq. Dow still trailing behind. All right, so there's that shift happening right there. Let's see where it closes. All right, we got 2 minutes left on this 3-minute candle. Let's see if it closes below activating the breaker. We did, however, get a trade into this bullish break, bullish fair value gap on the 15-minute here. Let's go to the 1 minute now that we are going to be inside of the breaker period. right, looks like it. Let's see. This low is 953 and a half. This close 953 and a half. Close right on the edge of the breaker. I like a close below. Let's go back to the 1 minute. All right, another retest of the 15-minute fair value gap. And once again, let's see where this candle closes. So we have another 50 seconds. Let's see if it closes inside of the blue area or below. All right, it did close inside once again. Now let's see if it sweeps lows. Let's see if we get something like this now. Okay, equal lows right here. No, Robin, I'm not going to sell it during lunch because I take a break during lunch. So the market's always here. So I'm not going to have FOMO over a setup that I see that might be potentially there. I'll catch whatever the afternoon brings. Okay, we got a tiny fair value gap here on the 3 minute. We just need a candle to close below. Okay, let's see if we get that break below the equal lows we have here from the last 6 or 7 minutes. We have those two candles with the wicks, the lower wicks at equal levels. I want to see if we sweep that, and then what does price do immediately following that? All right, we still have 13 minutes, so there's still time for something to happen. Let me just get this out of the way so we can see. Wait a minute, I think on the 3-minute we did get a closure below, finally, and we did. There is a 3-minute unicorn setup right here. Only thing I'm not in love with is the break of structure happen here 2 minutes before, 2 minutes before the macro. I like for those to happen during the macro period. All right, so there's about another 10 minutes of the macro. So what you want to pay attention to here is now that we made this new low, now our key high is going to be here, the highest point that sent price lower, right? So now if we get another break below this point at 9:44, sometime during lunch, then that's going to shift this high down to, let's see, probably here. And there you have it. So now that's been broken. So now this is the high. If this high is broken, you're now looking bullish again. So you want this to hold. Well, hopefully that gives you comfort. Anyone who did take this breaker setup. And that does it for our morning session. So thank you everyone for being here. Thanks for supporting the channel. On your way out, hit the like button if you haven't already. If you're brand new and you got something from the session, you want to come back, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification, and you'll get invitations every time we go live, both 30 minutes before, and then once we actually go live, you'll get a further reminder. I will Just for everyone who's unfamiliar, I'll be back at 1300. So I'll take an hour break and then we'll do this again in 1 hour for the afternoon session. Till then, cheers, everyone. Take care.